opinion of lag in regards to that. And so let's go back to the game. Fairly general, going-ons right now. You see Citadel of Adun. Idra is still behind. This is not a good situation for Idra. His push failed, and not only did it fail, it was a good try, by the way. Not only did it fail, but it actually caused him to get further behind his opponent. And so it's a matter of a catch-up game right now. This is an interesting strategy that I don't know if you guys saw, but Idra had a Vulture up here at this expo and a Vulture down here at this expo. So it's just easier to prevent an expansion than take out an expansion. So if you get that theory, it makes sense, right? Protoss, of course, knows he can just place down his second expo after Terran is working on his first, and so being the experienced players PJ is, he just sends out his goon first to check out these expansions cleared out if there's any mines or vultures, and so we see right now PJ's getting a good look at Idra's base. What's interesting about I'm actually my favorite race is Protoss, and so Terran, I've actually been dabbling in Terran. Terran's an interesting race. Some of the better pro gamers just have less turrets. They guard their base better with less units, and looks like there might be an attack coming, or PJ's looking for an opening. What I like about Idra's games, if you are lucky enough to see any of his replays on Destination or any other maps, is his building placement to get a forewarning of when a drop is coming. It's clever placement of his barracks or his engineering bay. In this case, it's his engineering bay, and so it has this wide area of a scope, because this is just playing against a lot of Protoss. You start picking up patterns on flight routes of all the Protoss players on how they like to come in with their shuttle, and so you get a good idea of how this is done. And so it looks like PJ sees this minefield outside of Idra's expansion, and it looks like he's going to do something about it. So this is interesting. So there's these. Let's watch them clear it out, since there's not a lot of action going on. And this is you got to give props to the map makers over in Korea. Artosis was actually telling. Was it Artosis? No, it was Tasteless. Tasteless was actually telling me that they have 2 full-time people, or 1 or 2, that their sole job is to create maps. And you can tell this only comes from experience. Look at this. They figured the clever placement of this right here would help all Terrans. If this Comstat is placed down, look how everything just is so beautifully placed. I actually wanted to try different new maps by BWM, the Brute War map community, but unfortunately, I felt that it would actually be unfair for some of these players that have played more on, have never played on like any of the untested maps. So it was just a better idea just to use the proven maps, and perhaps in our mini leagues, mini tournaments. Excuse me. You guys can try out the BWM maps, and if there's some sort of balance issues, BWM community can fix it, and then we can just use some of their maps in the next league. Alright, so it looks like PJ has his little arbiter over here. So let's see here. And Idra is just running around the map right now, just trying to do hit and run attacks, trying to see if there's expansions here or there, prevent expansions, and just cause as much damage as you possibly can. That's the general strategy of the Terran. They're turtling a little bit, and then they send out like little squad to try to do as much damage as possible. And I like this part right here. I don't know if you guys noticed this. He took this pylon down half-life, and he ran his vultures away, and then he ran them back. It's more of a bit of a psychological game, because he knows possibly PJ might run his forces back, so he runs away to make PJ's forces pursue its normal stratagem, and then he sends it back and do as much damage as possible. It's just little things that you can tell that yeah, this guy has played a lot. That's what makes Idra impressive. Even though he can be quite bad mannered sometimes, he is an impressive player. All right, so this is the mobility thing we're talking about. The units may be the Terran units may be as fast as the Protoss units, but the Terrans have to siege their tank. That takes time. Protoss can just kind of buy himself time by just flanking, causing the Terran to switch different routes. We see right now there's a strong push by Idra, and this is where you see how Protoss can kind of take advantage of this multi-route map. All right, so something exciting stuff is happening. If you forgive me, this isn't as exciting for me because I've already seen this, but it's still, from a strategic point of view, analyzation point of view, it's still fun to watch, to see the general idea. And so, of course, Idra sees PJ's forces running over here, so he's placing these mines over here, to protect this incoming force, because he knows the main force is going to come in from this side if he attempts to flank him. Here we go. And this is I would say, I don't know if this is necessarily a fair thing. I've thought about this before. It doesn't. There's some aspects of the PVT matchup that's unfair, I would say, for Terran. Just from my own personal experience from playing both races, there's just some aspect that just doesn't seem fair. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure they'll fix it in StarCraft 2. You'll see some other aspects. It's even hard to say that, because you have players like Flash that can beat Protoss, school them, things like that. But there are sometimes I'm watching this and I'm like, well, that doesn't seem quite fair. But at the same time, Idra did fall behind from that early push, so it's hard to say who would have won if it had been a more traditional game. And so we see it's a kind of all-in situation right now. Idra pushing in. Of course, PJ's more spread out, so PJ gets this first match. You guys hold on. I'll work on the second game at some point, possibly later today or tomorrow. But yeah. If you noticed, Idra left without saying GG. I'm thinking about perhaps making a rule for the next ASL where you have to say GG. PJ commented to me after the game, after the next few games, that he noticed that Idra didn't say GG. It's just generally polite to say that. Alright, so I'll talk to you guys later.